Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss.
In today's video, I'm going to be talking about this story that was sent to me by a supporter, and it's centered around domestic violence, and unfortunately it led to this young lady's death. And this is exactly why I was upset with Nicki Minaj when she used the hashtag Black Girl Tragic, because of the seriousness behind the hashtag and because of stories like this. Let's get into today's video. Tia Coates, an 18-year-old Georgia woman, was 3 months pregnant, was found in the woods after going missing earlier this month, leaving her family grieving. Her fiance, who last saw her alive, is in custody. Aldishan Locklear, 18, was arrested Wednesday on a felony murder charge, aggravated assault related to strangulation, and concealing a death, according to online jail records. Tia Coates went missing on August 6th. Her mother, Ebony King, put out a heartbreaking plea for help to find her on Facebook. She wrote, "She is one of my heartbeats, and I am praying that you can help to spread the word." She also included in the Facebook post that the last person to see her was her fiance, Aldishan Locklear. Later, her body was found Tuesday night in a wooded area. After learning about the death of her daughter, her mother made another post. She wrote, "We are numb and at loss for words. My gift, my love, my heartbeat, my hero, my firstborn baby is gone. She was found deceased. I gather the strength to post this as we have continued to receive calls and text messages asking for updates. We are unable to discuss details at this time. We thank you so much for your shares of our post. I have no other words."
Well, Cheryl, I spoke with Tia's mother, her father, and her aunt, and they are just devastated. They tell us, quote, "A monster took their little girl from them." Their mother does tell us she was, in fact, pregnant. 19-year-old Tia Coates was last seen August 5th. Investigators say she was reported missing 5 days later on August 10th. And this week, a development in the case.
Tuesday afternoon, we received information that led us to believe foul play was suspected.
Detectives say tips led them to Coates' boyfriend, 18-year-old Aldishan Locklear.
We began doing interviews of Ms. Coates' boyfriend, and we were able to obtain enough information to charge him with the murder of Miss Tia Coates. During that investigation and the interview of Aldishan, he was able to direct us and lead us to the area that he placed her body.
This wooded area behind the home she shared with her grandmother and boyfriend is where her body was found. But investigators say the 19-year-old was murdered inside the home.
A physical altercation happened in that bathroom that led to her death.
And there are a lot of questions detectives say they can't answer right now, like the manner of death, as the autopsy hasn't been completed. Now, Locklear was in court today for a first appearance, but bond could not be issued, so he's back in court later next month. And speaking with the family, the mother was just in tears as she talked about the baby they all were expecting.
She was so excited, and we didn't talk a lot about the pregnancy outside because she was so excited, and I was telling her, I'm not gonna let the baby call me grandma. I'm gonna be auntie.
The reason this story really spoke to me was because I read an article that said her mom tried to get her daughter to leave her boyfriend, and she would say things like she loved him, she wanted to stay, And her mom was saying no matter what I would say to her, she really just wanted the family life. So because she was pregnant, she wanted to stay. She wanted the family life. And also, they were engaged. So I'm sure he was promising her things. Her mom also said that her boyfriend, Al Deshawn, would sometimes send her text messages promising to change for her daughter. Now, my issue with this is my only issue, and I'm not blaming the parents, I'm not blaming the mother, but I do feel like they could have done more for her. And a lot of times we see women in domestic violence relationships and we don't do enough. Her mom having that conversation was not enough. Her mom, to me, could have done more. And that's just my opinion. In no way, shape, or form am I blaming this woman for her daughter's death. But I do feel that a lot of times, as friends, family, and just loved ones, we drop the ball when it comes to stories like this. We should have done more for this girl, and that is just how I feel. Also, Tia would say things like, I can change him, I can help him. And her mom was saying that's how her heart was built. She was just an innocent, sweet girl, and she really believed that her love could change him. She believed that her love could help him. Officials believe that Tia was killed after an argument with Al Deshawn that had escalated. He is being held without bond. It is unclear if he has a lawyer who can speak on his behalf at this time. Tia had a tattoo on her shoulder blade area that read, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper." Her cause of death has not yet been determined. This story, you guys, is really unfortunate, and my heart really goes out to her family. To hear stories like this, it's really heartbreaking. And it's like sometimes you read stories or you listen to stories and you ask yourself, well, what could I have done? And who around me is going through a similar situation that maybe I'm not even aware of? And I think as people, as friends, family, loved ones, we need to pay close attention to, red flags or signs that a person may be in an abusive or domestic violence relationship. I have a friend right now who is blind in I believe her left eye, and it was because she was in an abusive relationship, and she will never be able to see out of her left eye ever again. She has had 2 surgeries. She has been through hell and back, and it's really unfortunate that when it came to the relationship that she was in, it cost her her eye, and she will never be able to see out of that eye ever again for the rest of her life. Lastly, if you know of anyone that's in a domestic violence relationship, please get them the help that they need, you guys. Do not fail them. We as people, we're placed here on earth and we meet people and we befriend them and we love on them. But when it comes to situations like this, you have to step up and be that friend. You have to step up and be that loved one. Even if you feel they're making poor choices. I'm not saying you can force anyone to do anything, but make sure you're doing everything. You're exhausting all of your power and your resources to help them. Because you don't want to have regrets if this ever happens. If this actually happens, you want to be like, you know what? I did everything that I could have possibly done to prevent this from happening. And also, when it comes to domestic violence, I am also aware that it's not just a one-sided type of scenario. This could definitely be for men too. Men could be in domestic violence relationships with women. And as men, you don't want to put yourself in a position, like I said, where a woman is putting their hands on you and it escalates, and then all of a sudden you're put in a position where now she's the victim and you're the bad guy. So make sure that you are in healthy relationships, you guys. It is so important that you are in healthy relationships. Toxic relationships are when you guys are always arguing, you can't agree on anything, and it's almost like you guys are just existing because it's comfortable, but sometimes it's best to walk away. And if you find yourself in a domestic violence relationship, you need to walk away. Don't stay thinking that it will get better, because it will never get better. It only gets worse. When you're in a toxic cycle, I talk about toxic cycles on my platform all the time. The only way that you can benefit or get out of that toxic cycle is by walking away. Trying to fix it, work it out while you're in that toxic cycle, it never works. You have to remove yourself out of that toxic cycle, and then maybe after things are different or you guys are on better terms, and then maybe you can work it out. But being in that toxic cycle, trying to work it out in the toxic cycle, it never works, you guys. And I've learned this time and time and time again, trying to remain in a toxic cycle, thinking that it will get better. It never gets better. It never gets better. So please remove yourself and get the help that you need to overcome your situation and find peace. That's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload, and I'll catch you in my next one.